So the idea behind this is what we call continuous code inspection. And there are two key pieces or two key tools that are required to make this type of inspection process possible without being as resource intensive as it is when it is done manually. First is what we call an automated code inspection tool. And the automated code inspection tool would typically be set up to enforce the rigorous criteria that's encapsulated in a coding standard. So if your inspection tool can actually enforce this type of coding standard, what you end up getting is a line-by-line inspection of the code by a quote-unquote expert, if you will, because now the tool is behaving as the experts in the manual code inspection process, except that we are now able to do this in an automated fashion. So we end up freeing up those resources. And the type of tool that's uniquely positioned to implement the automated code inspection is a static analysis tool, because of their ability to go and parse the native source code. These tools are capable of enforcing the criteria of that rigorous coding standard and automate that process of the line-by-line inspection of the source code. The second tool that is required to implement this continuous process is what we call a continuous collaboration platform. Right combination of features, a platform like this can automate all of those follow-up processes that need to happen. So if you have the ability to view the marked up source code from the code review or output of the static analysis tool, you have the ability for your developers and your experts to review the defects that were detected by the automatic inspection and determine the correct course of action to take for a particular defect. So now we have this ability to review the defects without ever having to call a meeting online. If the platform also provides the ability to assign actions to its users, for example, if the quality assurance team is actually reviewing the code, they can actually assign a particular defect to be reviewed by a specific developer, so that developer can go back, review the defect in the source code, and determine the correct course of action, and then possibly assign that back to another developer to fix, or also create what we call a deviation to the coding standard. So the continuous collaboration platform should also be able to document these types of deviations that are agreed upon by the development team and be able to keep track and trace those back as needed if they need to be reported upon to some other party. So the process of putting this in place, this continuous code inspection, is done by first and foremost making the automatic inspection tools available to the developers at their workstations. So what they are now able to do is, as they're writing code, they can run this automatic inspection using the tool while they're developing as often as is deemed necessary, whether that be on the completion of a function, a class, a module, or at any time during the development of those pieces of the code. They have this ability to review it automatically on their own, and in this sense we now have that ability to do that incremental and continuous inspection of the source code. So we get to do the inspection early and often, which is the way we need to do these types of inspections to ensure that those defects that get inserted during the coding phase don't progress to later stages in the development cycle. So now what happens is, as your developers are inspecting and removing the defects that are inserted into the source code at their own workstations, they can commit clean code to a version control system. So now that we have clean code going into a version control system, you can actually integrate this continuous collaboration platform with the version control system, and any defects that make it through into the version control system can be automatically detected by the collaboration platform, which can then notify the users that there is a new defect in the code that's been detected, and the appropriate user can take the necessary actions, whether that be signing it for review or going and fixing it themselves. You can also integrate the inspection into an automated build server that would actually pull the code out of the version control system. So if you wanted to actually dial back the inspection criteria that the developers are using on their desktops to speed up the inspection process, because sometimes these inspections can take quite a bit of time depending on the methodologies and types of analysis that are being run. You can run a full automated build, an automated inspection during the automated build process to allow a more rigorous inspection of the code that's checked into version control. And again, the collaboration platform can notify the users of any defects that are detected during that process. So now we have this ability to automatically inspect the code, and we have known that our inspection criteria has been verified by this process. And now, because we have a online available platform, you have the ability to give quality assurance and management eyes into the process so that they can give feedback and continue to improve the process using the information available in the collaboration platform.